Welcome to the Curious Hearts Collective podcast, here to help you align to life in joyful, creative, and inspiring ways with your host, Vanessa Truven.
So welcome to the Curious Hearts Collective podcast. My name is Vanessa. Here we explore possibilities in life to reconnect to your authentic self. I'm here to help you align your life in joyful, creative, and inspiring ways. I am so excited today to have a very special guest, Michael Spruill. The crowd goes wild. I feel like, Michael, you're quite used to introductions like that, right?
I am. I'm a professional wrestler, and so going to the entrance, I have a ring announcer, and so it's always awesome to hear. Yeah. So it's basically like ladies and gentlemen, the Megabit Warrior, Michael Benjamin Wexler. That's my my wrestler name. So.
Oh, your wrestling name, yeah.
And then I get to do or from a bad guy. Yeah.
And you do both so well. So okay, let me actually talk about who you are so we can get right into it, because I'm already so excited. This is going to be amazing. So I'm bringing Michael on as a guest today because I experience you, Michael, as somebody who is so open, so authentic, and you have this beautiful courage to just be yourself. When I'm around you, when you're hosting events, I see a collection of a variety of interesting people. And that's a huge compliment because I can see so many different personalities, views and interests come together when you're around. And you're somebody that I consider a multi-passionate creative. You have a lot of interests, a lot of passions. You're a very creative person, and the way that you choose to express yourself creatively is phenomenal. And you're somebody that I would love to sit down, and obviously that's why we're here, pick your brain, talk about, the challenges you've faced, how you connect to your interests and your passions, and how you go about creating this space and time in your life to be able to express yourself in all of the interests that you have. So I'd love to start there. Tell me about who you are, some of your passions. You can talk about what, a week or a month even looks like for you. I know you mentioned you're a professional wrestler, and that's just a line in your resume of all the amazing, cool things that you do. So take it away, Michael.
And wow, thank you. I keep on bringing the affirmations too. Like that's great. No, man, I can get into a whole spiel of things, but I'll go ahead and list all my like things I can remember at least. So yeah, I do. The number one thing I do, hobby wise, is professional wrestling. Mm-hmm. I got into it in like 2019, and just ever since, it's been like my biggest, I call it hobby because I haven't quit my day job yet. I do get paid for it, but like it's still something I can kind of do my creative outlet on. But I also have a YouTube, and I've had that for 19 years. It's going to be 20 in February. And
what's the name of the YouTube channel?
MBW Champion.
Nice. Okay. I'll make sure that I include the link in the notes below if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my link on for social media everywhere. So, but I've been doing that for 20 years, and I call it a variety channel, because throughout the entire scope of everything, I started it when I was doing my backyard wrestling before I went professional. I did my backyard wrestling, but then I went into sketches. I have my artwork that I do sometimes in there. I've done like podcasts. I've done, I still do streams for video games, video game news, like just a huge variety of stuff, including some music videos, and that I need to send you sometime. It's pretty funny. But I also help some people with their YouTube, like edit videos and stuff like that. So I do a lot of video editing. I'm always in like Photoshop, making like goofy little artworks and stuff like that. So I'm just all over the place with my creativity. Like a long time ago in 2006, I made a video game, and I'm making a sequel and I don't know if it's ever going to come out because I have so many things that I'm doing that I'm like, man, I don't have time to program because programs, it's kind of boring. I'm a designer. I like the ideas, but
Yeah.
like actually doing the stuff, I'm like, oh, this is taking so long.
Yeah, I relate. So
Yeah,
you
so
started
everywhere.
your channel 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and you said you were doing backyard wrestling at the time. So you started in 2019 as a professional wrestler. And so this has been an interest and a passion of yours for a really long time.
Yeah, for a long time. I recently was cleaning my room, and I'm kind of a hoarder. I have attachments to to everything. Like I'm just like, oh, this reminds me of this, and this reminds me of that.
Yeah.
And so I finally was like, cleaning some stuff. I'm like, I need to make some room. And I had like homework assignments from like high school, and I graduated in 2003, mind you. So like, I like I'm just like, why do I have all this stuff? But it was kind of cool because I looked at there was this English project that I had, and it was what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like oh, let's see what I said because I was all over the place. I
Yeah.
wanted to design video games and everything, but I actually wrote I want to be a professional wrestler, and it was like a six page thing of like oh yeah, be a professional wrestler, and I was like wow, that's crazy that like I don't remember like saying that to like, the teachers or anything like that. But I did start my backyard wrestling in high school. Like it was in, the, yeah, it was the summer of like 2000. Oh wait, no, it was October 3rd, 2001. That's what I remember now.
Exact date.
I'm good with dates. I don't know.
Okay, okay. I was like, wow, is this a Mean Girls reference? Like when they're like, what day is it? It's October 3rd. And that's why
Right.
you remember? No, you just remember.
Nope. Nope. I just remember.
Okay.
Yeah. And, yeah, I'll totally explain like that day just really quick because and then I'll go back. I'm
Yeah.
ADD by the way, so my
It's
tracks
okay,
just go
so but
everywhere.
I'll rein you back in.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. So me and my like I was very like I want to try this like wrestling, and I was like, hey, can you like let me have some friends like wrestle in the backyard, and I like taught like three of them to like like okay, this is how you look at the camera and stuff like that. And so I was very director and very like okay, now this is gonna happen, and then like this way. And so when we filmed it, and then we had a tradition where like anytime we filmed something, like we would go into the living room with our VHS because that's what I recorded on, and then put it in there, and we would watch it back. And from there, I started doing we started making commercials like in between our matches and stuff, and they were like sketches. It was like oh, deodorant, you better wear this and that, and like and we're just like goofing around.
Yeah.
But that's what kind of caught on with because I uploaded my matches and my the commercials to YouTube when it and this is when like YouTube first started. So I was just like, I'm just gonna put my matches there so that I could share with my friends because I was going to ASU and they were still back in my hometown of Douglas, Arizona, and so I was sharing the videos to them. But then I got an audience, and I was like, oh, there's an audience here. Like I can show my creative stuff here and stuff like that. And so that kind of sparked the like oh, I can actually because I love entertaining people. So it's like I was like, oh, I can actually have a platform to do this. Like, and that's how that started with my YouTube, and then it became its own beast. So
What do you mean by it became its own?
it's just the journey of how it came. Again, it started as a backyard wrestling, but then once I started doing those commercials, I started leaning into sketches. And so, especially because I was here in Phoenix and I don't have any friends here that, would do backyard wrestling with me. So I had a roommate, his name is Russell, and he was awesome enough for letting me go, like, I have this random idea. Let's film it. And I'm like, see, I'm this annoying roommate, and I'm just gonna annoy you. And I want you to say this line. And so I'm like trying to direct them and stuff like that. And it just like took off. And like he was like, we still do videos like to this day. Like he just moved back and like, and we're going to start filming a couple more stuff. So I'm like, I'm so excited. Like,
no, that's amazing. So from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you started your YouTube channel as a way to just express your creativity. You wanted to have fun. You wanted to be creative. You wanted to explore this interest, which at the point was wrestling, and then create something of it. Is that right? And,
yeah, exactly.
And that passion has just kept going, that you've had this YouTube channel for 19, 20 years.
Yeah.
And are you still active on that YouTube channel now too?
Very.
Ooh, very. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say last year I made maybe like 150 videos on my YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, like it was a pretty like lot of content last year, and I'm trying to keep it up. So I'm still going. I'm still trying to squeeze it in wherever I can. So
that's
like,
amazing. And what sort of content is it that you're creating now? So who is the person that this YouTube channel, like, they're like, oh yeah, this is for me. This is the kind of content I want to consume. What is it that you're creating, and who do you think it's for?
So it's funny. It's mostly for me.
Love that answer.
That's exactly like what the answer is.
Yeah.
Because and this is like not good advice or or it's definitely not good advice. Just the secret to YouTube. The secret is like you need to find a niche, right? Like you need to like have certain content. But the thing is, my mind goes everywhere that I do variety of stuff, which kills your channel. And so I don't get as much views as I should. And I've actually been discussing this with people and stuff, and I'm gonna attempt to break it apart to different YouTube channels, and I'm gonna do it finally. But for so long, I've been so stubborn because I've had this YouTube for like almost 20 years, and I'm like, I don't want to like move away from it.
Yeah.
But it's my melting pot. Like, so I have different variety of content. So on Sundays, I would post these. I would film myself doing variant Sudoku puzzles. I'm such a nerd that like I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna do a Sudoku puzzle, and people are gonna watch it. And I'm like, you can click the link, you can play along, and you know while I'm doing stuff, and then I have like it's usually Thursday or Friday. I have I record myself playing some sort of retro video game or one of the new video games that come out for the Nintendo, and then in between I'll try to do some streams so I can do like a little bit more interactive with the community, and I'm super excited because I'm gonna release this coming month a new one called polyamorous, and I'm actually playing a game with my girlfriend Kat.
Yeah,
and so that's gonna be a continuous series on my channel.
That's cool.
And then I post my wrestling promos and my wrestling matches and stuff like that. And if I ever do my artwork with my perler beads, where I do like the sped up, like, you know, I'm making perler beads, and then I iron them and stuff. So it's a melting pot of just all that stuff. And again, it's because I just like, it's for me. I'm like, oh, I feel like I want to make this today. I want to make this today and this day. And it goes in flows. Like all of a sudden it's like a lot of wrestling, and then all of a sudden it's a lot of video games, and and so again, I don't recommend people doing that if you're trying to get into YouTube because the algorithm's like, I don't know what this guy's doing. Like he's just posting things. But for me, I enjoy going to my channel and like just seeing my like art. Like it's art. I love entertaining people, so even if it's only, you know, 50 people watching it, like I'm like, as long as they're enjoying it.
Yeah. And I mean, from what I heard, you started your YouTube channel for you as a way to express your creativity, as an outlet to be able to have fun and play in all the different aspects that you want. So Yeah, it makes sense that you started your YouTube channel for you. I used to say that I started Avanci, my bridal boutique, for selfish reasons because I love and I wanted to be surrounded by pretty wedding dresses. Granted,
Yeah.
of course, like I had somebody in mind that I wanted to help and to serve, but truly, like it was honestly a labor of like selfishness. I was like, I love this. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
this for me. So with that mindset, why are you going to kind of pivot or start a second channel? Is because you didn't start YouTube for the algorithm. You didn't start YouTube to get something out of it. It was for you to express your creativity, right? Has
Right.
that pivoted, or are you interested now in like gaining views and followers?
Uh, yeah, what a lot of people have told me, like advice, is they're like that your way of thinking of like splitting it up
Hmm.
and separating things like in my mind I'm separating it from like I have like 20 I forgot it's like 20,000 subscribers so it's like if I pivot I have zero, right? So it's like it basically they're telling me it's okay to do this because you're still making the content that you want, but you're gonna get more of a niche audience. So like if you want your wrestling, like if the people that want to watch wrestling, you put all your wrestling
Yeah.
stuff there, like they're going like that's the audience that's gonna watch that. Usually they're not gonna like the wrestling fans are not gonna watch my video game content. And that's kind of the mentality of it. So like I could still do my creative the way I want to. Maybe I won't post too much on any which channel because like I'm only one person and I have a day job and a second job, so the wrestling, so it will be a little bit less sporadic across. However, once a video comes out, it actually most likely will be recommended to them because of that. So it's kind of just getting myself out of my head and just come like getting with times, basically. And I also think I have a not a hatred towards YouTube, like a um I've seen it since the beginning, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Long time
I
user.
yeah, I love the way that it was done back in the day. And like when I did create content, regardless of what it is, they actually did recommend it to users. It was very good with its search engine. It was very good with like, hey, this is this type of video. I'll label it that way. It gets put in that category and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So I don't like the way that they did the algorithm now, but like again, I understand because that's the way that the world went. But I think I was so like honed in with like it worked back in like 2008, right? So yeah, what ended up happening was I was one of the first YouTube partners, and I was like super excited. I'm like, oh, I'm getting paid on YouTube. This is great. This is this is cool. And I'm like making content. And once the algorithm hit and like all my variety started, and then like it started going down, and then eventually like um because I had like hit so much like views and subscribers and they started like dwindling down, it kind of hit my ego a lot or it hit me like just like nobody wants to watch my stuff and it just continued doing that. And so I was like putting so much pressure on myself. When I made a video, like a sketch, it took me like 15 hours to do. And then I would do another sketch and I'm like, this is not good enough. So I wouldn't release it. And then it just became like, I stopped posting and I was just like, I was getting depressed about it. Like I was like, it was bad. Like I was like, and so I took some time off of YouTube a little bit, still posting sporadically, but like not as frequent.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, my channel was finally like officially like it was leveled and I never recovered from it. And so I went back to my mentality of like, who am I posting for? And then once it came back to me of like I was posting for myself
Yeah.
and I was like and I'm like I was so caught up in like like but this one had 500,000 views, like why am I not getting that many? And so like once I got out of that mentality of trying to chase those numbers, I started having fun with it again. And so that's what kind of brought me back to YouTube, because it was very sporadic.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel like the past couple of years I've been back having fun with it. And, you know, like, again, now that I'm doing it more often and then talking to people and they're going, hey, since you're doing it anyways, like you've released like 100 some videos, like just go ahead and split the channels up. And it's like, it's not going to be stress. And I'm like, but I'm so worked up in my head that like, I'm doing it for my own self again. Like I don't want to be part of their system. But I'm like, okay, not as long as I don't lose myself of like saying like, hey, I want to be my authentic self with what I'm doing, on my creativity side. So
yeah, I'm so glad. First of all, thank you for your honesty, for your vulnerability and your openness. Like you just mentioned something that's so important that I think as creatives we face all the time, this idea of perfection, of, oh, it's not meeting my standards, I'm not going to do it. Oh, it doesn't look how I thought I would do, I'm not going to really sit. And I cross my arms like this dramatically because because I feel like for myself, I'm like, my standards, and I say used to be because I've been working really hard on that. You know, as a multi-passionate creative myself, like I can see you. I see you. Hey, bud. You have multiple passions and interests. I'm the same way. You know, I love bridal. I love love and weddings. I also used to be poly, so that was something that I would want to talk about. I'm a musician. I love talking about, you know, music and sharing my music. So I feel like we can so often have these battles and face these challenges that we create for ourselves of like, well, no, it doesn't meet my standards, or I don't have enough time, or I'm not getting the results that I envision that I want to be getting, so I'm going to stop. And I love that you repivoted for yourself and kind of realigned yourself on, wait, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I like it, because it's a creative outlet for me. And I think that's so important. It's so important to constantly remind ourselves and ground ourselves in our intention. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? And to persevere when our results aren't exactly what we thought they would be. And YouTube is just one small aspect of your creative pursuits and how you express yourself creatively. I know you are a professional wrestler, and I know that you have a full-time job as well. I heard you say earlier, I haven't quit my full-time job yet. I heard the yet. And I wanted to come back to that because I'm like, wait, I want to ask if that's something that is on your mind of like pursuing this career full-time. Or you want to, if it's just a hobby and you're continuing your, you know, full-time career. And I would also like to talk about how you manage all of that within your schedule and your time. You are a polyamorous man as well. So I don't know if you have multiple partners at the time. I think you do too, right?
Yeah, two
partners right now. And how do you balance, you know, your relationships, your personal life, and all of your, you know, creative pursuits? And you start laughing because I'm like, I know this is going to be an interesting answer. Polyamorous people are masters at calendars.
Yep.
So let's go.
Yeah. And this is coming from a person that likes to just wing it. I get you have to do a calendar. Yeah. You actually do have to schedule, or at least know a line, like a template of like what you're going to do. What I always do in any of my projects, calendars or anything, I always think to myself, as long as I can bullet it and I can fill in the blanks later, like, because I still like to wing it. I don't like writing a script and it being hard coded. Yes, like I want there to be a little bit of freedom. So I always write things in bullets and go like, let me play around and see what my creative mind is saying at this time.
Yeah.
Anyways, I pivoted for a second. But coming back, I do the same thing with calendars. So I'm like, you know, I'll look at it and be like, you know, like, hey, when, you know, I have two partners, my wife's Shell and my girlfriend Kat.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to spend a lot of time with them. I love them both. And so we share calendars and, you know, they're busy too. They have so many different projects that they're doing themselves too. And so I try to at least, make sure that I have a full dedicated time to be there with them, and not like be doing like projects and stuff like that. Like I want to actually like have some quality time.
Right.
And I don't mean like the whole day. I mean like, you know, like at least like a big chunk of it, and then maybe at night, you know, like when somebody goes to sleep, then I'll work on a project. But at least I do that. I train in wrestling every Monday and Wednesday, and that's so after work I go there, and I don't get back to the house until like 10 p.m. usually, and so that's already kind of done. So that's already 4 days out of the 7-day week. So so in between there, that is where I try to fit like my different projects and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to do all this editing. I'm going to try to film this. I do lose a lot of sleep because I usually film at night, and I do edit a lot of stuff at night.
Yeah.
And I'm very social too. And so I don't want to lose the aspect of like hanging out with friends, or, you know, going to like happy hours, or, like my wife, does, some classes, and then Kat, sometimes she'll do like body painting, or like she hosts the happy hours and stuff like that. So like I try to make it to like my partner's stuff. And yeah, there's just a lot of like different like things that I need to keep track of. So calendar, like to kind of map it out. I have the one on my phone, and I also have one over here on the side of just like key things that I need to make sure that I do. And then sometimes on the weekend that's where I have my wrestling shows.
Right.
And so like this month I have 3 matches. So like I have to make sure that like I have time to, you know, I'm not going to be able to do anything on those days because it's like a full day of being there. So yeah, it's a lot of juggling.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I love being entertaining because I just love the joy that it gives people. And so I want to say almost every single one of my hobbies has an audience. It's usually not just like, hey, it's my artwork, I'm going to put it up. Like I usually will like show it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes me have like a ego or something like that. I don't think that is, but like I really do find that like, and then like I'm like, if somebody enjoys it, I'm like, oh, this is like, I'm like, I get so happy. Like, and I mean, you've seen me at like even social things. Like I'm always trying to make people laugh. I'm always trying to like do goofy faces and stuff like that. If somebody's like, you know, kind of down, like I try to like bring them up. You know, that's just my personality. So like, I feel like it recharges my battery when I do stuff like that. So like I have to fit in the social stuff, because if not, like I'm gonna go crazy in front of my computer editing. like
I hear you. I know that it's so recharging for you. Your content's not like Michael's great, I'm amazing. And it's not just like selfish things. It is so entertaining. And I say this like as a person who does not like the desert, especially Phoenix in summertime. Your birthday in July might be the only thing that'll bring me to travel back to Phoenix in the middle of summer with you, because they are your birthday parties are really fun. They're really entertaining. Like I said, there's a collection. Like you have so many different groups and interests, and you meet such a variety of interesting people that when you yourself are hosting, I never know who I'm going to meet. And I'm always really looking forward to those events because they're entertaining. I can tell that you put a lot of thought and care and effort into everything that you do. Like there's a reason I was like, Michael, can I get you on my podcast, please? I want to hear you speak and talk to you about these things, because it really... You are. I feel like I'm gassing you up right now, and you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care.
Thank you.
That's. I mean, it's who I am, right? I love words of affirmation. Is one of my biggest love languages, and I am no longer like halting myself on sharing my thoughts and my feelings openly, right? Like I have one life. I'm gonna be myself and share those things. So, you are somebody that in my mind has so much creative courage. I see a multi-passionate creative, and it takes so much bravery and conviction and dedication to be able to do what you do. Like I have been, I learned how to play piano as an adult, but I can tell you it's been a passion and interest of mine forever. If I probably wrote a letter to myself about a career choice, mine probably would have been either an entrepreneur or a musician. And I haven't necessarily taken as many steps as you have to be able to engage in my creative pursuits. Like my YouTube channel is just starting. Granted, I've started it and stopped it and started it and let it go for a couple years. Dennis would always joke. He's like, "You're going up in subscribers, but you haven't posted in 3 years. What's that about?" I was like, "I don't know. Sorry."
That's great.
But there is a lot, to consider for somebody who wants to maybe introduce or create space in their life for a new activity or create space in their life for a new relationship. How do you prioritize yourself through that? And I know that it looks different. For me, when I was running Avancy and when I was poly and I had multiple partners as well, time for myself was, oh man, I had to schedule that out weeks in advance or I would burn out. How do you manage to take care of you through all of, the activities and interests and relationships and passions and things that you have going on in your life?
Yeah, I guess I did forget to mention that too. Like in my calendar, like I do actually make sure that I have, a day or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how I'm feeling like that month. And sometimes it'll just happen in that week of like, oh, I need to pivot and like, have this day. But you have to date yourself. Like that's the way I like phrasing it, because it's like, like you put a lot of care of like, like if you're going to go meet up with somebody or, this and that, like it's like you're focused on it. And I'm like, I do think that you need to be focused on yourself. You need to have, dedicated time to yourself. Like I think it should be something that you have on your calendar and you go like, on this day I'm going to do this. And then basically from there it's like what do you what do you want to do, right? Yeah. It could be like, you could doom scroll on the phone. You could watch TV or something like that. It's truly, it doesn't like, if that's what you love to do, you could do that. But it also gives you opportunity for like, I can do something else. And like, I could do something creatively. Or, like I haven't hung out with this friend for a moment. But like, you need to not like always go to that. You always like, you want to like find something that you can do yourself. Like, even if it's just like walk around at a mall or something like that, like, or, go hiking or, just something to change the pace and just, whatever refills your battery. I think it's super important to do that. I did want to touch on something that you said, a little earlier. It just popped up when you were saying my birthday and the different varieties of people. Yeah. I think it's super important to have people in your life that just love. I think the reason why I love doing my birthday and I don't want to ever do something different, I always have it like a party at my house, is because I love having the eclectic, different variety of people at my house. Like I have friends from high school. I have, like maybe some of like my wrestler friends. My mom comes, all my like polyamorous friends, but like my partners, like coworkers. Like I have like there's like, it's a variety of people, but I always choose, I am actually selective on like who comes, because I'm like, I do want people that are actually not going to be judging or not allowing other people to be themselves and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I want there to be a good, a good amount of people. And I love having them here and then seeing how everybody interacts. And I feel like I have enough, great people in my life that like, people kind of just like blend together, and then I see them, add each other as friends on Facebook later on and stuff like that. And like, because it makes me really happy. I've got it multiple times where they're like, how'd you guys meet? Oh, at Michael's birthday. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like,
absolutely. I have a few people that I'm like, oh my God, I met you at Michael's party. And we know so many people because you just bring so many people together. And seriously, like, I love that you bring that up because it is. I do experience it. I know your mom. I've talked to your mom. And I remember the very first, oh my God, the very first Michael birthday party I ever attended. There were cupcakes on the table. I didn't know that they were for like your happy birthday when we.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know the story. And I ate one. Before we sang happy birthday, I had a cupcake. They were so good. The carrot cake cupcakes, right? And yes. I remember your friend who made them. Was it your friend who made them? She was like, yeah. I can't believe you ate a cupcake. Like we were supposed to be singing happy birthday. But then the next year I went, she handed me a cupcake and was like, I'm watching you, but here's a cupcake. And I thought it was so funny. And I only ever see her at your birthday party, but whenever you're hosting and she's around. But I love so much that you are authentic everywhere. Like for myself, when I was poly, like I had that hidden from my family. Well, from my mom. My sisters knew the whole time, but I remember seeing you openly, and your mom was present and your partners were there and you were affectionate, and she was like, yeah, this is my son and I love him, and I accept him and I see who he is. And that blew my mind. And it wasn't like, oh, it's because it's Michael's mom. It's because of who you are and who you choose to be. And I admire that so much because a lot of people, myself included, haven't always had the bravery and the courage to just be who you are. And I'm not saying that it's easy for you. I have no idea. But from observation, you seem so free. You're like, this is who I am. This is what my interest is. I'm going to go do that. This is who I am. I like that. I'm going to go explore them. Yeah. I like them. I'm going to go talk to them. And I think that's so cool. I admire that about you so much. And your gatherings and your birthday party, for example, is the proof of how open you are. You do have quite the collection of people that come and hang out. And it's always a really fun, entertaining, relaxing, enjoyable experience. So kudos to you, man. That's amazing. And
thank you.
I do want to ask, you are somebody who has, we've said this a million times, multiple creative pursuits. For somebody who's listening, who has an idea in their mind or an interest or a passion that they've just been thinking about for a really long time and haven't taken any action on, what are some recommendations you have on just easy, small, simple steps to take to start exploring their interests? Like what can you do? Like if somebody's interested in poly, how do they learn about it? If somebody's interested in becoming a wrestler, how do they learn about it? You know, where can people start?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big question. But it's great.
Specifically, I'm just curious, like what are ways you recommend that people start exploring?
It's not easy. and the thing is like, it's the mentality of like, there's always going to be a risk. And this is where it gets tricky because like I do struggle a lot with it. Where I am today is way different from like I was, when I was younger. Like it took a lot of time to build up, and I'm still working through some of the stuff. And again, I was talking about my YouTube of splitting the channel. Like it's that taking the risk and doing it. But with anything that you do, you're not going to be perfect at it. Yeah, like it's always going to be, like you have to put in the work to to build the base, and then like you just it will continuously get better, but it's not going to be perfect. And I know a lot of people, when they get into stuff, they can get demotivated, or they put too much pressure on, like the first couple times, like it's like how do I do this and this and this not. So depending on what you're trying to do, you have to come into it with that mentality that it's not gonna be what you imagined in the first go around. But like if you can take off that pressure and have fun with it, like are you getting something out of it? Like, are you having fun with the process? So like, say for example, if you're doing like a podcast, like you need to put things together, right? And you have like ideas, and it's just like, are you having fun, like, jotting ideas and stuff? I know it's probably a lot of stress of like, oh, like what do I do? And I have all these ideas and stuff like that. But then once you like, it's like you just have to press record and like record. Maybe the first couple episodes you haven't found your voice yet, but the more that you do it, then you start getting a flow, and then you'll find like what your style is. Because again, you have something in your head. It's not going to come out the way that you want. But like once you play it back and you realistically watch yourself and you like go like, oh, maybe I could have did this better, or oh, if I do this idea, this, you can kind of like just build from that. My sketches on YouTube in the very beginning were horrible. And so once I started watching myself and being more like, oh, I need to do this more, or like my acting, like if I was like very like I'm like, oh, I need to be more expressive, I need to be more like animated, like, and then I just try it. This is a quick tangent, or actually it's not a tangent, it's still the same thing. When I was doing wrestling, when I was trying to find my character, the advice I was given was just try something. It's gonna like, if it fails, it fails. That's just, but try it. And so in the middle of the ring, I threw the person to the rope, and I just yelled out, "It's time to power up!" And I went and like a little Mario to get everybody to laugh, and then I went and did the Mario uppercut. And like it just caught on, everybody loved it and stuff like that, and it was just like I made a fool of myself doing it, but it entertained people, and it was like, did I really make a fool of myself? No, but like thinking about it, the anxiety of going like, oh, that's like that's weird to do, like it's like you have to try to do stuff. If it fails, you can always just not do it the next time.
Yeah, that's literally the creative courage. I love that you presence that. Thank you, of taking the risk, of putting yourself out there, of just trying it out. I think you might remember the one year, I don't remember, I hosted my birthday, and all I wanted to do was throw on a really pretty black dress because I had just closed a fancy, so I had this black wedding dress, and my birthday's in October, and I was like, heck yeah, I'm wearing it. And I invited people over so that I could play piano for my birthday, and I had to work my way up to that. I mean, like, I really had to work my way up to feel confident enough to play the piano while other people were around. Because I taught myself as an adult. I had this idea and the story in my mind, anyone who's my age that plays piano has been playing since they were young. They're phenomenal. By the time they're my age and they play piano, oh my God, they're so good. Who am I? I'm not that level of musician. But when I started just saying, I don't care, it's my passion, it's my interest, I'm going to practice it. And I mean, like, I had to not just practice music, I got to practice playing in front of people. And I'm sharing this, for you and the listeners now. One year my gift to my mom on Mother's Day was to learn the song Chiquitita by ABBA on the piano. It's our song growing up. And before I could even play the song for my mom in person, I invited a small group of friends to my house, and I said, just bring homework, a puzzle, a book, anything, sit in my living room while I play piano, because I needed to practice playing and working through the fear of playing with people actually listening to me. And it took a risk. I was like, I'm willing to make mistakes, to be uncomfortable, to be nervous, to be a fool, whatever it is, so that you work up that muscle, that courage to be able to express yourself authentically. So love that you said that. And that makes so much sense. It really just takes a bit of courage and willingness to do that. And another thing that I want to point out that I see in you as well is you have a big support system. You have a large community of people who love and support you as well. And I think for anyone listening now who has an idea, an interest, a passion, something they want to explore, share that openly and freely with the people in your life. Say, hey, this matters to me, and I would appreciate it if you support me. And I've only been to one of your wrestling matches, but I've seen so many of them. And you always have your tribe there. They have signs and it's really fun and encouraging. And for anyone that hasn't ever gone to a show like this, go. It's so entertaining. It's so entertaining. It's so fun. So much fun. Is there anything that's you're feeling called to share? Anything, last words of wisdom or stories or anything that you feel called to say right now?
Yeah, I'm going to touch on the support system. I think that's really important to, again, take the risks, have time for yourself, just try. But also, it is really important to have people or, whether it be like in person, online, like it is very crucial, in my opinion, to always just stay, engaged with people. I wanted to mention like the first time that we met, you wanted to show me the like you playing piano, and you had immediately had told me that like you were shy about playing in front of people, and so like you were drinking a little bit and you couldn't do it. However, the determination like that was on you, and you kept trying, and I was like that was like so cool. And so later whenever like I would come over or anything, you would play, and I felt like really I felt I liked that you were open to play in front of me. And even though I don't know the song or whatever, and I always just got a lot of enjoyment and of like how it made you feel. Like when you play, you're always like you're smiling, and you get into it, and you're just like, so that energy, I love. So when you invited people to practice the song, and I was one of them, and I got to like watch you play and stuff like that, and you got into that same zone where you were just like in there, and then you had a whole bunch of support people there of just like listening to you, and like and I think you're amazing at it. But even if you weren't, and you were trying to like just learn and stuff like that, like you're there with people that are cheering you on, and I think that's like super important to have. So definitely, like, if whatever you're trying to do creatively, and if it's for an audience or whatever, like I wouldn't be don't be embarrassed about it, don't be shy about it, like just like it's not gonna hurt to post it, like it or to like invite somebody to something, or like just or like you did, like show somebody at your house like oh, look at this drawing that I did, or this and that, like it's kind of letting you're kind of showing them yourself in a way, right? Like it's like, here's a part of me, and I think that maybe that's why it's scary. It's vulnerable, right? Like it's like it's a part of you, but like to show people yourself, like it's very important, and that's how you're gonna get your support system is sharing yourself. Because if you stay guarded and you don't open yourself, it's hard to be close to somebody that is very guarded, and because if you have that metaphoric wall, it's legit a wall. Like it's hard for people to come to you. But if you're showing them yourselves, and like you go like, hey, this and this, that, now you're opening that bridge, you're breaking down that wall, and then you can have fruitful relationships between that, and it only makes things better, in my opinion.
I agree. And I love that you presence the fact that it's the passion in the other person that you enjoy. Because same, like when I get to see you wrestle, for example, or even just seeing the pictures, I can tell how into it you are. And passionate people just make the world go round. Like we wouldn't have amazing art or films or movie and music if people weren't passionate about their craft. And it just takes a little bit of courage to get to explore and to open up to people and allow yourself to be seen. So yeah, I'm glad, Michael, that you were one of the people that was there. And I do remember the night we met, I was drinking wine and I was like, I'm learning this new song. I couldn't play it at all. I mean, like, when I have wine or when I drink at all, I'm like, where's middle C? I don't know. What's a piano? How do I don't know. So it was so funny that I was like, oh, I'm playing this part and it's really fun. Michael, listen. Nope. Couldn't play it. But you've been there and you've seen, you know, my development and growth. Like I chose in 2021 to, you know, really learn a couple of songs. I think I learned 12 songs that year. But it took a lot of determination and risk and allowing myself to be seen and to be heard. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today, for being a guest on the Curious Hearts Collective podcast. I love getting to speak to you, to hearing your wisdom, your excitement, your creativity, and the advice and love that you've given on today's episode has just been phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time, for sharing yourself openly, vulnerably, creatively here. For anyone listening, you can find Michael's YouTube link and any other socials, in the show notes. And I'm really looking forward to releasing this episode and sharing your light with the world and all the listeners too. So Michael, thank you so much for joining me. For anyone listening, stay curious, be bold, tap into your creative courage, and we will check in soon. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Curious Hearts Collective podcast with your host, Vanessa Trufant. Don't forget to check out any of the resources mentioned in today's episode in the show notes down below.